Hey everyone, have you ever looked back at your life and I get this thing, and I'm sure it's really common, but let me know if you get it. You know where someone does you wrong, someone says something nasty to you, or they do something really bad and you don't say anything at the time because maybe you're shocked, maybe you don't like confrontation, maybe it's not in your nature to sort of like snap back, but it's then in the future when you look back on that moment that you get angry and you're like, I wish I said this, I wish I did that, because what they did was so out of order. I get that all the time, and I thought I would come on here and share with you things that I wish I had told my younger self. And I've called it in my 20s, but actually the same thing goes for in my 30s, because I was definitely, when I look back at my 30s, I was a lot better. I was established with my work and my career, but I was still very much like searching for who I am. And I feel like so far my 40s have been the best decade of my whole life. I'm not even exaggerating. It's been so good. So I'm going to go through all the things I wish I told myself, including things like, don't get stressed about the whole body clock thing. Like, that is such an annoyance that plagued me for years. And I'm going to like catch you up on all of it. But before I do that, I've got some bag updates. Well, first of all, the first update is the reason why this video is going out today, being Saturday and not tomorrow, is that tomorrow I'm doing a live stream. Okay, so my new collection comes out, my new clothing range comes out, and it's launching tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time. I'll put the equivalent times in here, but it's launching at 6 p.m. UK time on luxurypromise.com on a live stream. So if Sunday comes along and you're in the evening or in the day or whenever my videos come out for you, if you want something to watch, it's going to be a 3-hour live stream. I'm very nervous, and I would really appreciate it if I saw some of your names in the comments under that video, because under that live even, because as the live goes, I can see all the comments coming in, and I would just love it if I could see some familiar names and faces there. So please, if you've got a spare, you don't have to watch all 3 hours, okay? But if you want to like dip in, hang out, leave a comment, see the new collection, I would love to see you there. So I'll put details of that in the description. I'll put a direct link for where you need to go to watch tomorrow at 6 p.m. or the equivalent times, which are here, as I've mentioned. So that's the live stream. The other thing I wanted to say, I got a new bag. Here is the box. Let's open it. I haven't opened this bag. This is how it's coming packaged, so it looks absolutely gorgeous. And let's go ahead and see how it looks. So dust bag. I'm so excited about this bag. I've wanted this for a year, and I wasn't sure, like, do I? Anyway, here we are. Oh, it looks good. Oh, wow. Let's open this. Look at this. Are you ready? This is from a brand called Elmi. How cool is this? How Bottega style is this? This is interwoven leather, okay? It's by a Parisian brand called Elmi, who you may have heard before. I already have Elmi bags. I remember buying my first Elmi bag. It's a little shearling bag, and I bought it in 2018, and I never looked back. They also do fabulous clothing, and I love their pieces. But when I saw this, I had to give it a try, and it is not disappointing, let me tell you. What does it look on the inside? I liked the size as well. It opens up nice and wide, so it's not like it's a pain to get into. Crossbody strap, lined with micro suede in there, and it's got, oh, let me remove that. It has got made in Italy, and they're all designed in Paris. And just there, it's got the Elmi logo branding just there. And then on the other side, it's got made in Italy. So yeah, so all of their pieces are designed in Paris, made in Italy, beautifully soft leather. This is gorgeous. Oh, I can't wait to wear it. I know it clashes with the pink that I'm wearing at the moment. The other thing that is new is this jacket. Let me know. This is going to be an acquired taste, okay, because of the colour. It's out there, but I am a colourful person and I like it. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it, just a little bit. It's sort of red with magenta, and I love the length of this. It's that sort of like longer length, so you could wear it with tall boots on a more chilly day with like tight fitted black jodhpur type trouser with some boots with it. You could wear it with like a baggy jean and some sneakers. You could wear it of an evening. There are actual matching trousers that go with it. I didn't get the matching trousers, but I might go back for them. But I just need thing is, if I get the matching trousers, that's a vibe, isn't it, in itself? That's a strong look. And I need somewhere to wear that. I don't have anywhere to wear it. So that's that. And then finally, I want to just touch on, you know, Lydia Millen's bag. Okay, so I want to give an update on something. I kept the larger size in the black. You know, I got the smaller size. It was way too small for me. I'm a big person. It was too small for me. It made me look huge and I made the bag look even smaller. So I got the larger size, which I feel fits perfectly for me, to be honest. Well, at the time, it's still quite tight, okay, but the opening was quite limiting. It was quite like hard to get into. I've been using this bag so much, and I wanted to let you guys know that on mine, at least, I think through using it, the leather has softened and the opening has got a lot more generous. It's got stuff in here, like makeup in here. But the opening has got a lot more generous and it's not such a problem to use now. In the early days, it was a bit annoying. Great for security because no one can get their hand in there. But in the early days, it was a bit annoying. But no, it's sorted itself out now. So I wanted to let you know that. That technically could be in its own video. I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, let's get on to it. Things I wish I'd told myself in my younger years. Okay, so my early 20s were, I lacked confidence. I feel like when I look back, I was bullied quite badly. I was bullied by people that I worked with terribly, by grown adults. You know, I was like 20, I was still at university, just about at university, the tail end, and I had a job that I ended up having to work in full time when I graduated because I couldn't get a job elsewhere. And the bullying was so bad, it really destroyed my self-confidence. It made me doubt myself. It made me afraid to speak because if I spoke, whatever I said was ridiculed. And the same thing went as well with people I knew at the time. It was just like, I felt like I was being bullied from every angle. And I've always been a nice person and things have changed now, but I never used to say anything back because I didn't know what to say back. It's like, what do you say back to someone who's being an absolute, insert swear word? You know, what do you say back to them? Unless I think when you get older and you get more self-confidence, it's quicker to snap back and put that person in their place. But when I was younger, I didn't have that confidence, and definitely I would say for me, I felt like I was the butt of all jokes and I was bullied mercilessly by literally every single person I knew. Every person I knew, except my parents and my family, bullied me horrifically. And I look back and it makes me so angry. And you know, normally I'll be in the shower and I'm like washing my hair and I'm like, oh, that person that said that, what an absolute insert swear word. Wish I could have said this, wish I did that, wish I did whatever. And that's the bit that annoys me the most because I look back and I wish I did things differently, but I didn't. That's the way I handled it at the time. I'm a different person now. If people are horrible, I deal with it and I cut them out and they're not in my life anymore. But back then I was a different person. I used to give people loads of chances and I thought people would change. And you know what? Bullies don't change. Bullies don't change. Bullies are bullies for life, in my opinion, until someone bullies them and then they don't like it. Anyway, the other thing that I think I would definitely have told myself to have stopped stressing about is this whole like female body clock thing, and you should go and have babies and you need to have your life sorted out and know what you're going to do ASAP. Okay, so from as young as I can remember, I never imagined having children. Even when I go back, you know, to when I was like, I don't know, like under the age of 10, I used to imagine my life and it was as it is now. Living in a nice house, nice husband, freedom, got my car. Well, I don't have a car at the moment, but you know, I had a nice car in my imagination. I had my animals, and exactly what I imagined it's really weird, but it's how it's turned out. I never imagined having children. it's like to each their own, but that's not something I would want to live with. That sounds really weird. But it was just never something I wanted to do. But I tortured myself with it because all throughout my 20s, I was like, what is wrong with me? You know, I'd be surrounded by girls at work who were like getting married, going and having babies. And there was me. I didn't even want to get married. Yeah, in my imagination, I was going to marry someone eventually or live with someone eventually. But it wasn't like, I was never that person that as a young child imagined their, you know, their white wedding with the big dress and the cake and all that. Like, I just didn't do it. I always was about freedom and wanting to live the life that I wanted to live. And I would look back now and this is what I would say to my younger self, not just in my 20s, but actually in my 30s as well. Like, chill out about that. Don't, you know, if you feel deep down like you don't want to have children, that is okay. And there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not weird. You just don't want to have children. Not everyone. Having children doesn't have to be the path. It's not the only path in life. It's not like if you haven't had it, you've somehow failed. It's not like if you haven't had children, you're going to be on your own when you're older. I've said before, I used to work in an old person's home when I was a teenager, and I worked there on weekends, after school and summer holidays, like for a bit of cash. And I used to love working there because I loved talking to the residents that lived there about their lives. And I treasure those stories. Like, they still live with me, and I loved that they wanted to share that with me. Anyway, I can tell you for free, I was in there multiple times a week, okay, for a couple of years. Rarely did I see people visiting the residents that were in there. You saw it occasionally. You did see it. Christmas, Easter, other festivals, etc. You didn't really see it though. And I knew some people who pretty much never saw their family. I knew people that had dementia and they didn't see anyone. But this notion, I believe, of if you haven't had children when you're old, you're going to be alone, is a nonsense, because there's no guarantee that your family are going to be loyal to you when you're older. In my opinion, there's no guarantee of it. No, you can't. I think it would be wrong of me to have a child because I want someone to be there with me when I'm in my old age. I should want a child because I want a child. David doesn't want kids either. Like, both of us are both on the same page with it. And we've both agreed that to go and have a child for our own reasons, to like give ourselves some sort of insurance policy when we're older, would be wrong. We should want children because we want to have children, not because of an insurance policy. And I wish when I look back, I chilled out about it, because I ruined my 20s and 30s stressing out about should I have kids. And when I look back, I came to a plateau. I just came to peace with it. I was just like, something changed in me. I think when I hit like 39, something changed in me, and I just thought, no, you know what? I definitely don't want them. I don't want to say it's a stupid thing to get stressed out about, because it's a really big thing. But for anyone watching, if you are in the situation I was in, where you're doubting, it just doesn't feel right to you, and everyone's in your ear being like, you better hurry up and you're going to be on your own. Just do what feels right to you and your partner. Or if you want to have a child on your own, like, do what feels right for you. Don't try and not let other people sway you, because everyone's life is different. One person will regret not having a child. One person will regret having a child. There's all different like branches of this path as I see it. Okay, the next thing that I wish I could have told my younger self, and I am going back to my early 20s here. I wish I could have told myself to have cut people out of my life sooner who were no good for me. You know how like when you're growing up, you have those like acquaintances or people from school that are your friends, but they're not your friends. They're not your friends. I don't know about you. I actually don't have any friends from school anymore. all of my friends are people that I've met in workplaces since leaving. I have a better relationship with those people. Like I think all of my friends. Actually, yes, all of my friends now are people that I've worked with at different agencies. And through my friendship with them, they've come to meet each other, and then they work at different places they'd never met before, and then through a common friendship they've made friends. And like, I want to say every single person that came to our wedding, talking about my side of things, I had like 80 people from my side at our wedding. There were family there, of course, but most of the people were people I've worked with at different agencies. And at one place I was at, I invited the entire agency because everyone was my friend. I was like, come to my wedding. My next point, the thing I wish I had told myself, is don't be afraid to quit your job. If you are working somewhere and you are being treated awfully, if you are being bullied, if you go home every day and you're crying at the end of most days because of how you've been treated, get out. You know, don't stick around. Particularly at the time, I was living with my parents, so I could have done that. But the thing is, I wanted to try and support myself. I didn't want to be reliant on them for money because I had bills. I had debt from university at that point that was, you know, coming out of a direct debit each month. So I needed some money. But I look back, and working at this one particular place damaged my mental health so much at the time that I wish I'd quit a lot sooner. I still now carry a lot of anger about that place and the people that worked there and how I was treated. I still carry a lot of anger about it. And weirdly, David and we went and looked at a car. This was a couple of years ago. We looked at like an Aston Martin. Was it an Aston Martin? Something. And like one of the people from the place I'd worked with years before was there and recognised us. And I was just like... The other thing that was really big for me that I wish I'd told myself to chill out about is that in my 20s, I was stressing about turning 30. Well, I was stressing about getting older in general, but particularly I was stressing about 30. And I wish that I could have told myself, do you know what, girl? Literally, your life is going to turn out so good when you're a bit older that you're not going to worry about getting older. Things like, would I go back to my 20s again? Never. Well, I would go back to correct the things I did wrong. That would be nice. But I wouldn't choose to go back to them. They were not a time for me that I look back on like they were at the time. You know, you think in your 20s, you're having your best time of your life. I didn't really know who I was. I was like starting to cement my career, but that was like grassroots, you know. And I just look back and there were so many things I wish I could change. And I wouldn't go back to my 20s. Looking back, I didn't enjoy them. For me, life started after 35. That was when things started to really, really pick up. And I wish I could go back to my younger self and go, do you know what? Don't worry about 30. Things are only going to start getting better. So quite a lot of things, I think. And I don't know about you. Do you ever look back on your life and think, I wish I did this. I wish I'd said that. I wish I'd, dealt with that situation differently. But the way I try and tell myself now is, yeah, it's going to irk you to look back at certain things and wish you did things differently. But you did things at the time for a reason. And when I was younger, I was more naive and I was more trusting, and I would give people like 10, 20 million chances to like make things right. And I look back and I'm like, no, I should have, like now, as who I am now, if someone does me wrong, they're gone, but back then it was different. I'd give them so many chances because I wanted to believe in people. Now I'm a cynical person. I'm like, if that's the kind of person you are, you're not going to change. But back then you think that what I thought that people were possible to change. And I look back and I'm like, no, people are who they are. So I think although I look back and I wish I did things differently, definitely those things I wish I could have told myself looking back. As I am now, I wish I could have sat down with my like 25-year-old self and just said like, chill out a bit. Like, it's all gonna be okay, is what I could have told myself. Remember, the live stream is on tomorrow, okay? So if Sunday comes along and you're like feeling you want a video, go over to the live stream. That's where it's gonna be happening tomorrow, which is the 26th of April, 2026. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.